course, his family and friends are here. The Salvation Army is here. There's just so many organizations that he volunteers his time for that are here because they love him and they need him, and we're fortunate to have him in this town. So I'm going to get out of the way and let Reese say a few words, and then we'll move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I didn't prepare any notes because it was an easy topic to talk about. When Mayor Hall and I was contacted by the Congressman's staff about recognizing a community hero, to both of us it was a no-brainer. Skip has been involved in this community, besides the policing and knowing everybody in the community. He's touched so many folks in our community while he was working as a police officer, but he continues to do that in his retirement. He has done everything from pass out candy walking through the nursing home and the hospital, to putting bicycles together for the Salvation Army, to mowing grass when a neighbor's out of town or sick and in the hospital, to you name it, we all here know he's done it. And most of the time he's done it without, he told me one time he had a hard time saying no. And believe me, that is absolutely the truth. I'm around him a whole lot. And if somebody in our community is in need of help, or if he thinks they're in need of help, he told me last night we was eating dinner. He said he was going down, he left his house, he was going to run an errand, and he seen one of his neighbors out there pressure washing her driveway. And he said she was doing about 2 inches at a time. And he said, I thought to myself, no, I got the tool for that. So he pulled in the driveway and he come back and he said, I got something for you, I'll be right back. And he went home and got a little disc thing that attaches to his pressure washer, and she made one pass and she did about a foot at a time. And he said by the time he got back she'd done a whole driveway. I share that with you because that's the type of person he is. You don't have to ask. If he sees you, if he thinks he can help you in some way, he does. So it's a privilege to be here today, to honor a good friend, and I appreciate everyone else being here today. So, without any further ado, I introduce Mr. Congressman Mark Walker.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's good to see a lot of friends here in the Eden area. We're glad to be here. Always look forward to coming to Rockingham. That you guys have been very special to us, but we won't get into the politics of all of that today. We are here to do something incredibly special. As both the mayor and Reese have talked about, one of the things that we started a couple years ago is trying to find people in the community, in each community, from here to Chatham County to Cary to the whole central North Carolina that we have the privilege of representing, who were the people behind the scenes doing something special. You see, it's very easy in life to go through life making an argument, but it's very special people who can actually make a difference. See, making an argument, we just preach to the choir, we keep it in the circles of everybody that agrees with us, that's where we get applauded, claps on the back and all that. But there are some people who have been called to do something extra, to do something special. And one of the traits that we have found about these heroes and this bond that runs through North Carolinians is that usually these are people not seeking the limelight. These are people behind the scenes, doing their best to serve other people. They don't get the press. They don't get to go on television and talk. They don't get a lot of the stage time, if you will. But they're not deterred, because deep in their heart or their moral fiber or their faith, something drives them to make a difference with their fellow man. And we don't often select. What we do is we hear back from the different communities that we represent, and we hear, this person is the type of person that you're looking for a community hero. And a few months ago, we got some information on this Mr. Skip Johnson as far as all the different things, not only his time serving in law enforcement, but someone who loves his community. And I'm not talking about this fluff stuff that we see sometimes. I'm talking about somebody whose actions match his words. And that is why we have the privilege of flying a flag over the United States Capitol in the name to honor Mr. Skip Johnson as our Community Hero of the Month. So without further ado, we'd like to present this flag and this award to Mr. Skip Johnson here from Eden, North Carolina. God bless you, Skip. Come on up. Come on, Skip. We'll make the other things. I'll sit up here with you. We knew we had the right person because he didn't want to do this. He didn't want this kind of attention. And our district director, Julie Emmons, she kind of had to put the clamps on you, I guess, to get you to do this.
She worked about 30 minutes on the phone.
Well, wouldn't you like to hear about at least 30 seconds or something from Skip? He's the hero today. Give him a hand. Shut up there.
I would say, number one, that if my choir over there broke out on a gospel song, I'd be at my funeral, because all these No, but honestly, it's I'm truly humbled and thankful to you and Julie, and also Reed. I'm really not thankful to these two. Because truly, when you do things, like you say, you don't do it for a pat on the back, you know. I spend a lot of times, and I'll cite an example of what I'm saying. I spend a lot of time running into nursing centers and things and seeing folks. There's one lady I've been seeing for years, been there a long time. I knew her when I was a little bitty. She knew me when I was born. I went in a couple of weeks ago. She was sitting in a chair, of all things, normally in the bed. She was sitting there covered up, had her hands out like that, and chin completely down and out like a Georgia pine, sleeping. And I normally won't wake them up, but I eased over there and I just laid my finger in her palm. And almost immediately she squeezed my palm. And about 3 or 4 seconds she acclimated, her eyes opened up, and she looked up and her words were, "My old friend." And I said, "Honey, you got that right." And she said, "I really appreciate you visiting." We talked about the weather and stuff, and what she'd been eating, her family, my family, because she knew all of mine. Went out to the truck and cried for about 5 minutes about how bad off she is and how I was saying my sciatic nerve hurt. You know, what's wrong with people? You know, be thankful for what you got and how healthy you are. You know, but really, I appreciate everybody here. I love every person here. I know every person here very, very well. And I can't say enough thanks about. I honestly thought Julie implied it was going to be the congressman and her and maybe Neville and Brad and somebody. I didn't realize we was going to have a group of folks, but I appreciate and love every person here and anything any of us can ever do. I don't take credit. Usually when I do something, somebody's hanging around me, either Cox or Joey or Reese or Neville. I mean, we all do things, a lot of things jointly. But I honestly do appreciate and love every person here, and don't deserve to be called a hero in any.
Can we ask you a question? Okay to ask him a question or two? Is that okay to do? Why is it important for you to do what you do in giving back in the way you do? What drives you? Why is it important to you?
Everybody's looking at me for the wrong reason, because I just described this lady I visit. It's like a light come. I'm selfish. It's like a drug. You know, when she looked at me and said, "I really appreciate you coming," it did more for me to visit that woman than it did for her receiving anything from me. And that's the same way it applies on most anything you do, whether it's camp or cooking or whatever it is that we might do something. It's about what you go. It lights you up on the inside.
Tell me about your background, your family. Did you grow up here in this area, and was there any examples that kind of modeled that as far as service and things?
Born and raised here, born in Licksville and raised in Eden after 67, I guess.
And I know the difference.
3 sisters. We all grew up in one house. My grandma, it was a 3-bedroom meal house. Grandma and grandpa right here, my mom and dad right here, and me and 3 sisters in 1 bedroom together. A double bed, 2 singles. So I had it pretty tough. I was the tail end of the dog being the youngest. And 1 car. So
Did you ever get any bathroom time at all?
No, I got a picture of me taking a bath in a hubcap. But, you know, my life has been well. I had a wife for 37 years who really, my mom groomed all of us, you know, to know what's right and wrong and always do the right thing, which is really the most important thing in life. Well, somebody, you know, I always say your character and your inner self, and I don't say this, it's been said by somebody else, is actually dictated by what you do when somebody's not looking at you, when somebody's not listening to what you say. True character is developed that way. You know, it's not when somebody's looking and patting you on the back. Although I appreciate y'all doing this. But inspiration. Let me mention my son Andy, grandbaby.
Point him out.
Andy I tried my best to get him to not be a policeman. Everybody came up, he would not do it. His wife texted my new little grandbaby right there, you see him in the back. And my daughter Sandy in the red stripe, hold your hand up right there. She's 33. She's kind of the inspiration of a whole lot of people in this room. Okay, she's happier than, I've said this to everybody, if she's happier than 99% of the people in the world can't walk, can't see.
I'm going to do something right now that I've never done in, I guess, the dozens of these that we have done. And being a pastor, you'd think I would know better. But I'd like maybe for one or two people, if you would, instead of just from our perspective, if you get just like 30 seconds or less, just a word on why you think Mr. Johnson is certainly worthy to be the community hero of the month. Anybody that may know him, we don't need a 10-minute story, but background. I see two hands right here. I'm going to let the lady go first and go to Jennifer. Yes, ma'am.
I've been going to Skip for a few years. I work at the nursing home, and his family's been a long time. Got the privilege of being friends with his mom and his sisters. But this man's special. No matter what, he comes to the nursing home 2 or 3 times a week, I'm sure. I don't see him every time, I'm sure. He gives out candy. He goes and talks to everybody. He gets his friends involved in activities. We do a lunch club every month. We bring food in or cook it ourselves from the recreation department. He helps us a lot. He cooks, he brings his friends, they cook it, they help serve it, they eat with them. That's love. They won't take any reimbursement or anything, and I appreciate Skip. I love you.
Like I say, it's a light on the side. It comes on.
Thank you for sharing that word. Absolutely. If I can put my pastor hat back on just for a second, it's almost like it's a ministry or calling, isn't it? It really is there. Yes, sir.
You mentioned the Salvation Army earlier, and we have several representatives and several board members here. Skip works tirelessly every Christmas, long hours, gathering food, putting bicycles together, 8 o'clock at night, down in this empty building, blowing up tires and fixing them to be sure that everything's right so these kids have a great Christmas. Nobody thanks him, but let me tell you, we all are blessed, as Skip is. When you ought to see the smile on his face on distribution day when his parents come and get their gifts and bikes for their kids. And you really make that so special for these folks. Thank you, Skip.
Thank you, John.
We do appreciate all of you coming out today. I don't know that we've ever had a larger crowd, Julie, for one of these, which speaks volume to what you think of this man behind me. I know Eden has taken it on the chin over the years on some economic issues, but you guys are, as my dad used to say, from the deep south, tough as whip leather, and you keep coming back, and I think it's because you have people like Skip Johnson that represent your community. God bless you. Thanks for letting us come out today. Give this man one hand one more time.
Just want to tell everybody there are refreshments in the back. Feel free to stay and mingle. I know Skip would probably love to get some pictures with whoever is available for a few more minutes. And that's really about it. Just thanks a whole lot. And like the Congressman said, the crowd here speaks volumes for what this man means to our city. So thank you for coming. Make yourself at home. No rush to leave. But thanks again.